Hello. How you guys doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to everyone that decided to join and come hang out with me here. I just set up a new YouTube studio, a new content studio, and I'm so excited about it. You can't see it because it's all in front of me, but you can see my new microphone. So let me know if I sound good. It's a little bit of an echo in here. Um, I got some wall panels that are coming to drown out the sound, but hopefully you guys made it in here. You're good. Everybody's copacetic. Um, I'm excited about doing this live Q&A session. I love doing these. I love answering people's questions about remote work, about getting remote jobs, about basically designing your life in the way that you want. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Keandra. How you doing? Good morning. And so this session is an example of what I do on a weekly basis in the Quit Commuting Academy. So I have a coaching community for quit commuting that helps people find and land remote work. And once a week, I get together with the paid members once a week to answer their questions directly. It's usually a small group, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a hack. A lot of people ask for one-to-one coaching with me, but which I only open my coaching books once or twice a year. The hack is join the paid community and come to one of the weekly coaching calls. Because I'm going to tell you something, as much as people say they want coaching from me, they don't come to those calls. And so if you do, it is likely you will get one-to-one coaching. There's one woman named Jacqueline. She showed up to those calls for a month religiously. And for one full month, she got one-to-one coaching calls with me every week just because she signed up for the academy and showed up. So all of you out there, I am excited to answer your questions. I see a question already from Nicole. I'm gonna star that real quick. I want to do a little bit of admin before I get to your question. So all that to say, you guys can join our free community. You can ask questions in the community as well. You can just type your questions out. Let me give you the website for the free community. And in that free community, we share a lot of information. We do live sessions, live coaching sessions. That's the website, qca.circle.so. You can join the free community at any time. And then if you want, you can upgrade and we can do this together once a week because I like hanging out with y'all. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there. The second thing I want to throw out there is if you are watching this from Libria Jones Quit Commuting, this is the absolute last time I'm doing a live remote work session on this account, on my personal YouTube account, personal brand YouTube account. These will henceforth be in the community or on the Quit Commuting YouTube page. So feel free, if you're watching this from Libria Jones, to go and follow the Quit Commuting YouTube page. And let me give you the link to that. I'm gonna drop it in the comments. Subscribe to the Quit Commuting YouTube page. I actually share stuff there every week. So on Mondays, I do like a quick 5-minute tip. On Wednesdays, I do a remote work spotlight to share remote work. So follow that YouTube page as well, because these will start to be over there and or in the community. So join the community, follow YouTube. Follow, subscribe to us on YouTube. And the reason this is off schedule is because I normally do these, if you've been around for a while, I normally do these at the end of the month, so the last Saturday of the month. But the last Saturday of the month is like smack dab in between Christmas and New Year's. And child, we ain't trying to hang out. I'm gonna be busy. You're gonna be busy. I'm gonna be busy. So I decided to do this early and get it out of the way so that everybody can go and enjoy their holidays. Good morning. Hi, Deneen. Hi, Martisha. Hi, Pam. Good morning. How y'all doing? Okay, let's get to what you are here for. Let me answer some questions. I start a few that I already see. Yeah, Atlanta is probably cold because it's cold in Tallahassee. All right, Nicole, I'm gonna hit your question first. You said your biggest challenge is getting hits on your resume. You've tried working with a professional resume writer, use ChatGPT to rewrite, and working on a career coach who completely is overhauling my resume. I'm gonna post this question up here. Anybody else having problems? You feel like you've done all the things and you're still having problems getting attention on your resume? Nicole, I'm gonna ask you a few follow-up questions, okay? One thing I'm going to say, good morning from Brooklyn. One thing I'm going to say to you, Nicole, is you're doing all the right things, right? And here's the thing about resumes. Resumes are not a, what is the word? There is not any resume that is guaranteed to get you a recruiter reaching out. There's not one resume that's like, this resume is guaranteed to work, right? And then there's so many variations of what can work and what should work. And so if you go to one resume coach today and have them update your resume, and then you went to another resume coach a couple days from now or next week, they might say, let me tweak it, let me change it, right? Because it is, almost like creative writing, right? And so I don't want you to get too frustrated with the fact that your resume was rewritten by someone else. And I don't want you to keep spending money getting your resume rewritten by professionals. Okay. So that's thing one. Thing two is my guess, and I'm just going to guess here, you can tell me if I'm wrong, is that you went and got your resume professionally updated, right? And then you started using that resume to apply for every single job, right? That's typically what happens. Resumes and these jobs are not a one size fits all. And I think it's really good to have a templated resume. I think it's really great to have a templated resume. You absolutely need to have a templated resume. But you also need to take into account that the job posting, right? The job posting has specific things for that job and that company that you may not have in your resume. And so you want to make sure that before you go and hit that submit button, that you've done a quick scan. And I'm not talking about rewriting your resume. I'm talking about take 3 minutes, take 4 minutes, take 5 minutes to just scan through that resume and see if there's something in there that they mentioned that you mentioned using different words, different verbiage, or that you didn't have in your resume at all. And you don't have to rewrite your bullet points always. Sometimes you can just go to the skills section and add that as a skill. So that's the first thing that I'm going to say about the whole resume frustration thing. The second thing I'm going to say is we are in a time and place where so many people are submitting resumes. So many people are applying for jobs. When I first started doing this work, when I first started helping people get remote jobs, back in 2015, I've been doing this for a long time. Back when I first started helping people get remote jobs back in 2015, the stat was for every job posting, companies get about 300 applications, right? And now we're seeing, with the onslaught of people being so interested in remote work, and also with the onslaught of AI tools that do automated applications, we're starting to see where people are getting thousands of applications for one job posting. You get what I'm saying? And so now we are in a time where it's so much more competitive. So having a good resume just ain't enough, friend. Okay. I think it's a good tool. It's something you absolutely have to do, but I don't think that it's enough. So when you're seeing jobs that you're interested in, hitting the submit button, uploading your resume is just not going to be enough. It's time to take it a step further. It's time to start networking with people. It's time to go and find someone that works at that company and start to reach out to them and see if you can contact them about getting your resume in front of somebody. Having a good resume is like the bare minimum. It is the bare minimum. But keep in mind, your resume is there, but so are 999 others at least. All right. And so, and all of them are doing the same tricks. All of them are tweaking their resume. All of them are, using ChatGPT. All of them have gotten professional resumes done. A lot of people are doing that, right? So it's time to take it a step further. Okay. So I think having a good resume is minimum, bare minimum. The next thing that you need to do is start working on networking. I hope that was helpful. Someone said, finding things I can do overseas as a US citizen. You can freelance. You can work for US companies. I mean, there's a lot of remote work. There's a lot of remote first companies that don't care where you work from. But also, if you want ultimate freedom and flexibility, you can be a contractor, you can be a freelancer, you can create your own remote job as well. And there's tons of videos on how to be a freelancer on my channel and on YouTube in general. Someone asked, oh man, y'all are coming through with the questions today. I love this. Is there some type of quiz I can take to determine what type of remote work I would thrive in? I know what I don't want to do, but what are my alternatives? So Winnie, that's a good question. Fun fact. Okay. So yes, I have something coming out that will help you here soon. And I don't want, the one thing I want to address is that you said what type of remote work I would thrive in. I want you to just change that to work, because most jobs can be done remotely except for truck driving and surgery. You know what I'm saying? So most jobs can be done remote. So it's really about what type of work would you thrive in, and what kind of things you can meet. So I actually just built an AI career coach that I'm going to release with this really special thing that we're going to be doing in the new year. And so I'd love to invite you to test that out, Winnie. If you could do me a favor, Winnie, me and you can work together on building this, because I just built it and I need to make some tweaks to it. So Winnie, if you could do me a favor, if you could send an email, just Winnie, I don't want none of y'all else doing this. Winnie, if you could send an email to hello@quitcommuting.com. This is the email, hello@quitcommuting.com. Send an email to that, and let my team know that I asked for your help testing my AI career coach. Okay. Let's test that out and see if you get what you need from it, because it's going to be embedded in a 6-week coaching program that we're going to be doing in 2025. And I'd love for you to help me test that out if you don't mind. I can't see your comment right now because I'm looking at answers. But it's a great question. To generally answer your question, Lorraine, my dad's a truck driver too. And there are things that truck drivers can do remotely as well. Like you can transition into selling routes, right? Or you can transition into buying and owning trucks and just manage your drivers. So there's things that you can do as a truck driver to transition into remote work. You just can't literally drive trucks remotely, right? Not yet anyway. We'll see. If that dude Elon has his way, it'll be coming soon. But to answer the question more directly, I think what a lot of the times what we're stuck in is like trying to come up with what is the absolute right thing to do, right? We have this list of things that we're interested in, we're thinking about, but we're like, I got to pick the right thing. Because if I don't pick the right thing, then I'll fail. And if I fail, I wasted time and I'm a failure. I think what we've got to start thinking about is what can I try first? So for instance, in my case, I spent a lot of my career as a project manager. And so if I wanted to switch out of project management, here's what I would be thinking. What are some of the things that are complementary to project management? Right. So one of the things that is complementary to project management is operations, because I always have to set up back end systems to make sure the project is running smoothly. I have to set up dashboards to make sure we're reporting out on things. I have to set up mechanisms for my team to access all of the information that needs to be accessed. I have to create communication plans and make sure that this thing is running well. And so when I think about what's complementary to project management, operations is one of those things. The other thing that I think about as complementary to project management is strategy, because one of the things that a project manager has to do is be very forward thinking about risks, identifying risks and identifying what's next. So when we are identifying risks to the project and to the objectives, we're thinking not just about what the risk is, but how do we mitigate that risk? And so that's being strategic. That's strategic thinking. And then thinking about what the next step is. So when we're thinking about, okay, well, once we do this thing, what is the next puzzle piece that gets us further along? And so that's complementary. The other thing that would be complementary is account management, right? Client relationship management, because one of the biggest parts of project management is managing stakeholders and understanding how everyone is incentivized or has a different priority with your project. And each of those people need different bits of information to make the right decision. Some people need high level information to make the right decision. And some people need very granular information. And so part of good project management is understanding at what level people need information to make what decisions. And that kind of lends to being an account manager and an account executive. And so I will be thinking like, well, what are the things that are complementary to project management, right? So let's say I came up with those things. operations, strategy, and account management. I'm not going to sit around and hem and haw about which is the right one. What I'm going to think about is a couple of things. One, what would I like to try first? And in making that decision, I'm going to think, well, what am I most interested in? What is the easiest thing for me to get into? Like, what do I have the most skills in? I have the most skills in operations because I've literally built systems, right? I have a little bit less, maybe a little bit less experience in account management because sometimes that comes along with sales, right? And I don't necessarily feel that comfortable with sales. I do. I do. This is for example purposes. I didn't at one point. At one point, I was very uncomfortable with the idea of sales. So, but this would be my decision tree. What is complementary? What is the easiest thing for me to get into? What would I like to try first? And so you don't have to make this such a hard decision. And you don't have to make this such a hard decision because you don't have to decide today what you're going to be doing 10 years from now. You can decide what would I like to try first. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to do something else. And then the other thing that you can do is try more than one thing at a time and try the things that are most complementary, right? So what are those things that are most complementary? And in my case, I'm probably going to say operations and strategy, right? So what are the two things that are most complementary that I can go after? And I hope that makes sense. God, y'all asked a lot of questions. I have not been looking at the comments. I've just been trying to answer this question. So let me get back to these comments. But hopefully that is kind of helpful for all of you that are thinking about, well, what could I transition into and transition out of? Let me go back to the questions. I should have had a PA here. Where my PAs at? PAs are production assistants. I have some production assistants with Quick Commuting. I'm changing careers, getting my Scrum certification. Could you recommend some AI options to help me with creating a resume? Sure. ChatGPT is a good option to start with. And then I think I did a course on AI tools a while back. If you are in our academy, if you're in our paid community, there is a replay, a workshop where I did AI tools. I think it's in there. Let's see. I did a thing called AI tools. I gotta find it. But there's one called Loop CV, I wanna say. JobScan has some AI tools that you can use to do your resume. And ChatGPT is, I think, a great resource. Like, I don't think you need to load up on resources. And then another thing that you can do outside of AI is, looking at the job postings. Look at maybe 3 or 4 Scrum Master job postings and start to identify what are the things that are consistent across those job postings. And that can give you the language to update your resume as well. But Loop CV, that's LOOP CV. I can't find my notes from my session, but Loop CV off the top of my head, ChatGPT, obviously, and JobScan also, I think, has some AI tools as well. And then considering getting into voice work, that's awesome. Yes, I do know someone that does it. So someone mentioned on one of the side hustle conversations I held recently that Audible has auditions for audiobook voiceovers. I don't have any recommendations for like websites or anything like that, but I do have a friend who has done voiceover work, and this is the third time this has come up. So I'm going to see if I can get her to come share some resources with me. She is speaking at a conference here soon. I wonder if I can find that information. I'll see if I can find that information and drop it in the description box later. Okay. But I think for voiceover work, what I would suggest you do, a couple of resources is like go on Fiverr. I've hired voiceover artists on Fiverr before. Go on Fiverr, go on Upwork, and then I know Audible has a place for people to audition for books, is what I heard. That's what I heard in these streets. Okay, let me scroll up because y'all had a lot of comments. Y'all been real active, and I've been missing it. Scrum Master from Jamaica. Glad you made it. Hey. Open to US opportunities abroad. Just need some help navigating. Not trusting the US and the shenanigans. I need more from this one. Not trusting the US and the shenanigans going on. Yeah, I think I think the landscape is about to be really interesting in the United States, but keep in mind, like US business and US politics aren't always congruent. I think this is going to be a year where you start to see some of that overlap, especially like in the DEI space. The war on DEI is about to rage forward, and I'm not even going to call it a war. I think DEI is about to be eviscerated as a category. Is one of the things that you'll see, which I hope does not mean that we'll see a lot less people of color getting hired. I hope that doesn't mean that. Um, Oops. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. I need something I can do while living overseas. I go home once a year, but would love to be able to travel more. Yeah. So a lot of things that you can do. And again, I think the biggest and best way to get the level of freedom that a lot of you guys who want to travel, the best way to get that freedom is by being a freelancer. Like you really should consider freelancing for sure, because you own your schedule, you own how much you work, you know on what days you work, you own where you work from. And I see that your name is Musical Soul, and so I'm going to assume that you're musical. There is a woman who is a freelancer who does she creates music for people. Like that's what she does. Um, she's an artist, and that's what she does as a freelancer. Let me find the information about her because I did a live session on YouTube talking about freelancing, and she was one of the people on that session. Um, Let me see if I can find it right quick while you guys continue to drop your questions. Which session was this? It was really cool. It was a really cool session. She talked about what she does as a freelancer. Hold on, let me turn the sound off on my computer so it doesn't start playing. Let's see. I think she was on this session. This was her. Yeah. Okay. Let me copy this. I'm gonna put it in the comments for you, Musical Soul. There's one of the women on this video. It's the oh, there's two black women. It's the one with glasses on, I believe. She is a musician. If not that one, then she's in the other one. Um, in the old days, we copied job descriptions into Wordle and figured out ways to incorporate keywords and phrases into our resume. Yeah, I mean, it's still the same. Like the more things have changed, the more things have pretty much stayed the same. Someone said, I'm creating my own work from home career. I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. I think you're going to see a lot of that in the next year or so. I mean, I think we're entering the era of people of the freelancer and the contractor. Even I said this last year, and I've seen a lot of people become freelancers this year. Um, Someone said, may I ask, will the AI coach address teachers that are looking for alternatives to teaching? It is not specific to anyone, so it will address anybody that asks it questions. Yeah. One of the things that it does is it asks you if there's anything that you like about your background and what you want to avoid in your background. So you can say you don't want to work as a teacher in the field. You can tell it that. Um, Shout out to Stephanie for encouraging us to jump in this live. Yeah, that's my girl. I love that lady. Okay. Do you believe the SaaS industry is a solution for 2025 and beyond because of operation systems and AI? I don't think anything is the solution. I think nothing is the solution. I think everything is SaaS, right? Like that's just the world we live in. None of us owns any technology anymore. You remember when you used to, buy Microsoft Word and you had it until they changed it, right? If they were going to create a new version of it, then you had to go and buy the updated version or something like that. But it was yours. You owned it. And now everything is SaaS. And if you guys don't know what SaaS is, it means software as a service. When that just means means subscription based software. And so SaaS became a big deal 10, 15 years ago, um, where people just started paying monthly for software, right? So Netflix is SaaS software. Um, Jesus, everything. Hulu is SaaS software. If you are paying for like cloud services to store your stuff in the cloud, that's SaaS software. And so, no, I don't think SaaS is the solution just because everything is SaaS software right now. I think what you're probably asking, is technology the solution in 2025? Maybe that's what you're really asking. I said this maybe 5 years ago. I think every company is a technology company at this point in our lives. I think that we are probably going to end up in a place where we don't talk about technology as an industry or a category, because every company is pretty much a technology company, because every company is leaning heavily into technology in order to enable them to deliver their product and their services to their customers, period, right? And so every company has either a large or a growing technology department or function within their business. And so I think that jobs in technology and data will continue to grow, especially in the AI space and in the data analytics space as well. And it's going to be more like higher level jobs. I know we all think AI is coming for our jobs, but honestly, I think it's going to elevate our jobs. I think every big change in the labor market has prompted us to elevate our skills and our knowledge and education. Just like, when they started sending, what is the word I'm looking for? There was a time where everybody had an industrial job in the United States, right? Everybody worked at an assembly line in a factory. And that was most people's career, most people's jobs. And when they started sending those jobs out to other countries, everybody in the US was like, oh, they're taking all our jobs and we're all going to be unemployed. Well, what ended up happening was it elevated the types of jobs that we did, and it elevated the need, the desire for, and the access to education. Right. And so everybody just elevated their skills. So I expect the same will happen. Of course, some people will fall out of that and may not have the ability to do that. I think it's just really going to change how we work. Let's see. Someone mentioned that they want to do bookkeeping and data entry role. I think bookkeeping is a great idea. I know people that have built bookkeeping companies. And the great thing is that you don't have to be an accountant to be a bookkeeper. And now's a really good time to build out a bookkeeping company as well, because, folks are scrambling, trying to get all their business stuff in to get their taxes done at the end of the year. And anybody got time for that? Don't nobody want to do it? Excuse me. How do you get into your paid group? Oh, I love that question. You will go to, you can go to quitcommuting.com and click on community, but let me share a banner with you right quick. This is the, excuse me, this is the page for the whole community. If you click on the paid section, you can pay for it there, or you can just go to our website, quitcommuting.com, and click on the community button, and it'll take you to it as well. So you can go to quitcommuting.com and just click on the community tab, and it'll take you to sign up for the paid community. If you want to come hang out with me every week. I appreciate the question. Thanks for asking. Okay, so let me keep scrolling. I see a queue. Is LinkedIn the only place to network, especially if you are not interested in corporate clients? No, of course not. Of course, LinkedIn isn't the only place to network. Let me tell you something. I'm so sorry I keep clearing my throat. I am getting over a cold that took my voice. So I'm just really excited to have my voice today, for the most part. So I apologize. You're going to hear me putting candy in my mouth. You're going to see me taking sips of water. I might even pull my inhaler out for a second. So no, LinkedIn is not the only place to network at all. So a lot of the freelancer gigs and non-corporate clients that I get are from my network and people that I know. And I think, one, making sure that the people that you already know understand what you're doing. I literally got paid this week to go co-facilitate a workshop because of someone I knew. One of my friends was in town for the week, and was like, hey, you want to get coffee? I was like, sure. And I asked him, and so I ask a lot of questions. I ask questions of my friends who run small businesses and things. And I was like, so what are you in town for? What are you about to do? And he told me he was facilitating a strategy workshop or a user experience workshop to build out a process for something for a business here in Tallahassee, for a major business here in Tallahassee. And so I was like, just asking questions about that. And he was like, oh, you know what? You're a consultant. You used to do this. You used to do process design. He was like, would you like to co-facilitate it with me and I'll pay you? This was on Monday. Tuesday, I was in there. Wednesday, I sent the invoice. So no, LinkedIn is not the only place to network. I think a lot of us don't, a lot of us underestimate the network that we have today. So if you're an operations person and you've had not so great experiences at your dentist's office, why not hit up your dentist and say, hey, I see where I sent you guys an email and I didn't get a response, or I scheduled a session and I didn't get an automated email calendar invite. Actually, I signed my daughter up for therapy one time, and the therapist's office was so unorganized, and they wanted me to fill out physical papers. And I was like, I would love to help you set up some systems to make this a lot easier for you. So don't take for granted the network that you have outside of just your friends. Because some people are like, well, my friends don't run businesses. Your dentist does, your doctor does, right? And so you have a network that you might not even be considering a network. So if you have been interacting with any businesses, any small businesses that you've had a challenging situation with, it's not a bad idea to reach out to them and say, hey, I could help you set up some systems for this, or I could help you, set up a customer service email. Would you be interested in something like that? Right. So that's one way to network. Another way to network is joining groups. So I'm part of a few business Facebook groups where a lot of people don't want you selling in their Facebook group, right? They don't want you promoting in their Facebook group, but you can share stories, right? So you can share stories about your experience, or how, I ran across a situation where, XYZ happened and I told this person this and this was the outcome. Or you share a pain point that people are having. You could post in there like, hey, as if I was a bookkeeper, I might post in there and say, hey, I know it's the end of the year coming. Here's a couple of tips I would just give business owners to make their getting their books together for taxes as easy as possible. And then people just start reaching out to you with questions, and then people be like, you know what, can you just do this for me? So there are multiple ways to network. And then also, posting on your own Facebook. The last bookkeeper I hired her because she was just posting stories on her Facebook page. She wasn't even trying to sell. She was not even selling anything. She literally was just talking about the things that she has experienced with her clients. She was sharing advice and information just on her Facebook, not even in a Facebook group, on her own Facebook page. And I ended up hiring her and working with her for a good 6 months. So yeah, that's one thing you can do. Okay, let me go back through these comments. Set me up for the AI career coaching. Just send me an invoice. That is something I'm thinking about putting behind a paywall and just, asking people to pay like maybe $5 to get to it. But I need to test it out before I give it out to a bunch of people. I'm going to test it out with my current paid community. And with the young lady that asked that question earlier. Let's see here. Oh, yes, Candace, we should talk because this is the type of work I'm trying to do or am doing. I have my first fractional COO client as well. Please hit me up on Instagram, slide in my DM so we can connect. I would love to have like some brainstorming sessions with a few people. And I would love to at some point like build a fractional COO consulting business or an operations consulting business where we come in and figure out, their operations. And then we have some operations specialists that we just kind of hand the work to. But like the COO level is like, I am ideating. I'm coming up with strategies. I'm not like doing the hands-on keyboard stuff. I can bring in other people to do that. Candace, hit me up. Let me know. And congratulations. Can't tell me nothing. Y'all shall not tell Candace nothing except for congratulations. Someone says, I am still stuck at customer service. I've not been able to pivot in coming up 3 years. I don't know where to go from here besides giving up. What other titles? I don't know what other titles to look at anymore. So your fave persuasion. Here's a couple of things I'll just say to you. I started my career in customer service. And I can tell you, I'm going to commiserate with you. Number one, I think customer service is a great place to start your career. It's a great place to start your career. Number two, I think customer service is exhausting. It's such a tough job, especially to do for long periods of time. I did customer service for about 10 years off and on, and no one is calling customer service to tell us how great the company is. Like, nobody's doing that. Usually people are calling customer service with a problem. They're irate, they're confused, they're upset, they're miseducated, and they're taking it out on whoever is answering the phone. And so customer service can be incredibly demoralizing. And then the other thing is, my experience with management in customer service organizations has never really been that they come from a place of empathy. It's always about your numbers, right? It's always about making sure these calls are closed within a certain amount of time. It's always about non-repeat calls. Like, how am I going to have a non-repeat call and make sure I have to do a one and done transaction if I have to talk to them in less than 3 minutes? Like, make it make sense. And it's rarely, like, a lot of times it's there. Management rarely approaches staff from a sense of empathy, from a sense, I mean, honestly, there should be a therapist on site. Like, customer service reps should at the very least get free therapy sessions, because the psychological impact of taking on people's crap on a day-to-day basis and have people yelling at you and cursing you out when you personally didn't do anything wrong, but the company insists that you take that with a still face and understand and separate yourself from the company, but still represent the company. Like, that's a lot to ask of someone. And so, all that to say, I totally get the challenge with being, quote unquote, I'm not going to say that word, of being in customer service. What I take issue with is the word stuck. Baby, you ain't never stuck. You ain't never been stuck a day in your life, right? So that's thing one. Thing two is, the reason why you are not stuck is because you have options. It's just about choosing those options and taking action for it. And if the options that you've been choosing doesn't work, then take some other options, right? And so I'll say, I think a lot of people that have been in the customer service space feel like they don't have skills, right? Yeah, listen. I feel like I just dropped some bars on that one. Like, they need therapists on site. Anyway, one of the things that I think a lot of customer service people believe is that they don't have skills. So let's do an exercise. I was not planning on doing this, but let's try something out. We're going to go to ChatGPT. Let me pull up ChatGPT right quick. But I'm going to do this, and I need to do it behind the scenes first, because I need to hide my stuff from y'all. I don't want y'all seeing all my business. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to see every conversation I have with ChatGPT, because we be talking about all kinds of stuff. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share my screen. It's going to take a second, because I'm going to have to share my screen, and then I'm going to have to come back in here and add it to the stream, since oh no, it's already in the stream. Yay. All right, let me hide your comment. And then here's what we're going to do. We're going to add ChatGPT. Can you suggest some other career options for someone in let me just say, someone who has been working in customer service, I'm going to say call centers, for the last 10 years. Let's see what ChatGPT got to say. Project management. I knew project management was coming up. Sales rep, account management, training and development specialist, virtual assistant, operations manager, marketing specialist, consulting, and things like that. Operations manager, you likely understand systems and workflows behind call center operations. Ooh, I would totally do that. That's something I would do right there. Okay, so this is just giving you some ideas, but you can go in ChatGPT and do something like that yourself and see what fits your background. And I know the first thing that you're going to think is, well, I'm not qualified to do operations, right? That's what you're going to tell yourself, because that's what people do. People love to tell themselves what they cannot do. But what I'm going to tell you is that you live in a time right now where you can learn to do anything. You can upskill to anything at for not a lot of money and without having to go get a college degree. So you could go and learn CRM systems, or you can, CRM being customer relationship management systems, or you can go and learn other customer service systems. Here's one of the things I've said so many times. Like, if you went and learned how to use Freshdesk is a free customer service tool, a customer support tool. If you went and learned Freshdesk and started offering to set that up for other companies and became like a Freshdesk certified or a Freshdesk specialist, and you could take that customer service experience that you've had and apply that to helping people build out their customer service operations, right? Because now you have so much front end experience with customer service. You can say on the back end, I can make your customer service great because I have all this back end customer service experience. And so that's one of the things that you can do. But there's so many things that you can do with the customer service background. And I think it's a matter of starting to look at what are the transferable skills that you have in some of the roles that you've been looking at, and what are some of the skills that you can upskill to. So let's say project management. It listed project management as one of them. Let's say that's an area you wanted to go into. Well, Coursera has a project management course that is $39 a month, y'all. $39 a month, you can learn project management from Coursera. And so there are other options for you as well. All right, I want to get to a couple more questions. I'm gonna get to one more question because I want to give you guys a tour of our community as well. For those of you that are not members of our free community, I want to give you a quick tour. I'll show you the paid area as well, but I also want to tell you about something big that we have coming up for January. But I want to answer one more question. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll. I'm seeing comments as well. Okay, I think I hit most of the questions. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Kimberly, are you joining this this COO mastermind? Let me find out. Y'all send me a message on Instagram or something. My Instagram is trash. My Instagram DMs are trash. Like, I am so bad at checking those. But hit me up. Find a way to hit me up so we can talk about this. Let's see. Hide that. Let me scroll. Okay, I think I hit them all. Okay, so guys, real quick, I want to give you a tour of our free community. There is no like real COO mastermind. I'm just saying, like, I feel like all of us who are thinking about doing chief fractional COO work should like get together and just start talking. How do you access ChatGPT? You just go to the website, just type in ChatGPT in Google and go to the website. You do have to log in. You have to set up a login to get into it. Yeah. I'm in 3 years in HR. What's available in remote? HR is available in remote, friend. Literally, HR. Everything that you have done at a computer is available remote. Just so you know. Anything that you do on a computer is pretty much available as a remote job. Okay? All right. 2 things. First thing is 2025, I want it to be the year that you land remote work, be that a remote job, W-2, be that freelancing, be that consulting, be that you creating your own business, whatever that is. I want it to be the year that you start doing remote work. And so in 2025, we are going to be launching really cool coaching program. Some of you have my course. How many of you have the course? Say me in the comments if you have the course. One of the things that I know this for a fact. A lot of you have bought my course and you logged into it twice and you ain't done nothing else. You logged into it twice. It's been collecting dust. And I think it's a really good course. I've heard it's a really good course, but I understand that sometimes people get courses and they get in there and they just kind of get overwhelmed. Same thing with the community. Same thing with our paid community. People join our paid community and there's so much content that you just don't know where to start. You're just overwhelmed. And so in 2025, what we are going to do, instead of just dropping you off in the Quick Commuting Academy or dropping you off in the course and saying, go for it, we are going to do a 6-week coaching program. coaching and accountability program. So it's a 6-week cohort where we are going to work together. You'll have an accountability partner and you'll meet with me once a week to do the work. We're going to do work in January, okay? We're going to get stuff done and we're going to get a lot closer to where we need to be to get remote work. So look out for that. The cart's not open for that. You can't buy it just yet, but I just want to let you know about it. If you join the community, you'll get notified when it comes up. But let me show you the community right quick. Give me a second. Here is the community. I'm trying to get a link to drop for you guys so that you can join when you're ready. But this was supposed to be a little bit of a housewarming party so I can show you guys around. So let me do that. I'm going to show you. Stop screen, present, share screen, tab. There we go. All right. So this is the Quit Commuting Academy. I love it. We just set this up. We just moved from another platform to this one, and I'm very, very excited about it. There is a space here you can join for free. When you come into the community, there's some onboarding that we want you to do. Update your notifications because I ain't trying to get on your nerves. And then we ask you to provide demographic information. The reason we ask for this information is so that when we go to companies and ask them to come recruit, we can come to those companies and say, here's the group of people we have. Are you looking for these type of people, right? So we have women, most of our community is women between the ages of 35 and 55 who are making about this much and work in these industries. Come recruit with us. And then we want to give you a community tour, which I'm going to do right now. And then we have a new member welcome call every month. We ask you to complete your profile. We tell you to make friends. So the cool thing is you can find other members in here that are in your industry. You can find people that are currently remote and network with them as well. And so maybe they are currently remote, but they're looking for another job because they want to be outside of the US. Maybe you're fine being in the US, right? And so you can network right in here. All right. So the main space in the community is our Hangout. This is basically like a Facebook feed, right? So you can comment and share information here and people can respond. So for example, someone the other day shared a Google certification scholarship in cybersecurity. So if anybody's interested in getting into cybersecurity, this person in our community, and this is why I love this being a community, because searching for a job does not have to be a solo sport. So somebody came into the community and shared this cool resource that was free for other people to apply for, right? Somebody else shared a Udemy course about technical writing that they ran into. Someone else shared a free skill certification. I come in and do a Motivation Monday message every Monday morning. I also feel like I shared something else the other day. It was a partnerships website. I found a new job board the other day. I found a whole new job board the other day and posted that. So we also have where you can post on like job alerts and you'll get any job alert that someone may have posted and tagged. But yeah, I stumbled upon a partnerships website. So if anybody works in partnerships, this is a website that is just a job board for partnerships. So that is our Hangout. We also have a bunch of free events. Right now, these are our recurring events. So this is today's event that's happening right this minute. I do, again, Motivation Mondays every Monday. And then we'll be doing workshops almost every week or every other week in here. So you can come here and the free sessions are either about interviews, freelancing, general remote work. They could be about upskilling, resume, compensation, career transitions, stuff like that. Those are free. Now, if you're in the free community, you have to attend the live event. Otherwise, you won't catch the replay. We have our free resources. You can access our blog, our list of 50 remote first companies, our ultimate guide to remote work. And then we have this inspirational wall with stories about people who have had success using our tools, using our resources. This person received an interview request for a job she didn't even apply for because she followed our advice on how to update her LinkedIn. And so that full story is here as well in the community. So there's that. And then if you're in the paid community, you have separate onboarding, but we also have our special live sessions. Once a month, you'll get your LinkedIn reviewed and you can get feedback about LinkedIn. You can get advice on how to use it. I do a weekly live Q&A in there. And then we have a resume expert that every other week will review your resume and give you feedback. We have a campus library in here with a whole lot of workshops. And these workshops, you can, drill down and just go to resume. These are your resume workshops. These are your interview workshops. Like if you just need help getting ready for an interview, this one was such a good one. Oh my God, this one was so good. You can come do, look at general stuff, LinkedIn stuff like that. And then there's a whole bunch of other sections in that. So that is the community. Really quickly, just in a nutshell, that's what the community looks like. If you ever want to join, I think you should. It's free. But if you want to upgrade and go to the Academy membership, that's great as well. Here's the thing I will tell you. Here's what I love about the Academy membership. One, we do this, what we're doing right now. We do this every week, except you don't have to send me a chat message. You can come on camera and talk to me directly, right? The other thing that I love is when we do recruiter roundtables, our recruiter roundtables, we have recruiters come from other companies and talk about what they're hiring for. We just did one with Belay Solutions for all of you, virtual assistants and bookkeepers out there. Actually, the bookkeeper person, check out Belay Solutions. They're hiring bookkeepers. The person that mentioned bookkeeping, check out Belay Solutions. That's BELAY Solutions. They are hiring bookkeepers. Okay. So anyway, they came in and did a recruiter roundtable with us where they talked about their company, they talked about their hiring process, what they're looking for. And we did that to the public in our free community, right? But right after that, we held a networking session with our paid community. So we do that for every recruiter roundtable. The recruiters will come and talk to the general community about what they're hiring for and what their practices are and give some advice. But then after that, we always have a face-to-face networking session with our paid community where you can come on camera and meet the recruiters directly. And one person on that call ended up connecting with one of the recruiters and she told her to send her resume. She was like, send me your resume. So waiting for an update on how that went for her as well. So check that out if you guys want to upgrade to paid membership. We would love to have you. And the good thing is you can cancel your membership at any time and you can rejoin at any time, right? So you can go back and forth. If it's like, you know what, I need to take a break. I don't need to pay for this right now. I'm having an expensive month, or this quarter is going to be very expensive for me. So I'm going to dial back on my memberships. You can cancel your membership, but you can always upgrade it again if you need to as well. Okay, so that is the community tour. And I have 8 minutes. I went through that a lot faster than I thought I would. So let me know, what questions do you have about the community? And let me answer those for you. Joining, yay, thanks for joining. I appreciate that. Let me drop the link again, qca.circle.so. And again, you can upgrade at any time. Someone said, are you adding to the community? Somebody asked if I was adding to the community, but I can't find that question. Someone asked if I was going to be adding anything to the community. Yes. Oh my God, where was the question? Who asked it? Yes, there it is. Will you be adding more stuff in the free community? In the free community? Probably not. Because the amount of time and effort that we put into the things that we provide to the community, I think we should be compensated for it, and so we will be adding more stuff to the paid community for sure. The team has some ideas for things that we can do within the community. I think if we add things to the free community, it might be little surprises here and there to keep people engaged. But no, I don't plan on creating more work for myself and my team to provide for free, to be very direct about that. I've provided a lot of free information and a lot of free things over the last, several years. We used to do nothing but free workshops, like twice a week. Twice a week we were doing free workshops for over a year. So, no, friend. But we will be adding more features to the paid community. And we'll also add more tiers and things that you can add on as you need it. So our plan next year is to also add resume services and more one-to-one coaching. So I'm going to be recruiting coaches next year. Oh, here's one thing that we will be adding to the free community. How about this? We will be adding ambassadors. So we're looking at our most populated cities and adding city ambassadors to host in-person stuff as well as just being virtual, because I think it's important for us to come offline sometimes. And so one of the things that we want our city ambassadors to do is make you guys aware of career resources and activities and events that are happening in your city, but also to host meetups where you guys can get together and work on your resumes or get together and apply for jobs, so that you're not going through this process by yourself, and so that you have someone to hold you accountable and stuff like that. So that is something we do plan to add to the free community, if that is helpful, if that makes sense. Um, how do you join the paid community? Just go to the website and click on community. Here, I'll show you. Let me show you real quick. I like showing people stuff. I'm a show and tell kind of girl, you know? I don't mind walking you guys through stuff. So let's go to quickcommuting.com. Hopefully you see my screen. Yes, you do. So if you go to quickcommuting.com and go to coaching, that is the community. You just click that link right there. Actually, here, let me drop the link in the chat so we don't have to do all that. There you go. There you go. Make it super easy for you. But if you go to, also, if you happen to be in the paid community already, if you are already in the paid community, let me show you how you can get there easily as well. If you're already in, not paid community, if you're already in the free community, if you go down here to Academy Admissions, oh, I'm in it. If you click on Academy Admissions, if you click on this section, a page will come up that suggests that you pay, that you can sign up. Let me show you. So so this is me, I'm logged out, I'm not a member. This is what you can see if you're not a member. If you click on Academy Admissions, you will get this page. So as soon as you join as a free member, if you click on Academy Admissions or any of these pages in the paid section, it will prompt you to pay. So if you're already a free member, it will prompt you to pay if you click on that. Cool. All right, we got 4 minutes left. I'm gonna say I really appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Saturday. And you guys got to experience my little new content space first before anybody else did. Hopefully the sound is good. I'm hearing some echo. I don't know if you guys heard this echo as well. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if you guys hear this echo as well, but I'm looking forward to getting these panels put up. And I love doing this. So I will see you guys, if you're in the paid community, I will see you guys Saturday of next week in the paid community. If you're a part of the free community, I will see you guys next year. All right. If you're in the free community or not, the rest of the folks, I will see you guys next year when we do our next monthly live session. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Have a great Saturday. Actually, you know what? I have 3 minutes. I'm going to answer one more question. Somebody asked me a question real quick so I can close it out. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutos. Let me know what you got for me. While we're waiting for someone to ask a question in the comments, make sure you follow. If you don't join the community, make sure you follow Quick Commuting on YouTube as well. Okay. If you have a lot of freelancing skills like writing, graphic design, program management, would you recommend marketing them all or just focusing on one skill set to expand for business? Ooh, you asked a good question. Oh, you asked a good question. You know what I would do, to be honest with you? I would, oh, I'm gonna answer that question too. I'm gonna stay on a little bit longer. Okay, so here's what I would do. I would create myself as a firm, right? So you can have basically 2 businesses. I would market 2 businesses. One would be a creative business that does writing and graphic design and copywriting. So I would market that business, but then I would have a separate business that does, virtual assistant and project management work. That's what I would do. And on LinkedIn, if you're talking about specifically on LinkedIn, I would talk about both. I would talk about both things. I would talk about projects that I've done that were creative and projects that I've done as a project manager. And then you could also, when you're submitting proposals and things, you could talk about, in your proposal about how you're a great graphic designer. You could talk about how you can also manage the entire creative project for them. And one of the things that you could also say and point out is that one of the benefits of working with you as a creative is that you also have this project management background and capabilities. But yeah, I would actually try to probably market these as two businesses, one being virtual assistant project management and one being a creative business as well. And under the creative business and under both, you could just let people know that you have these separate services as well. Um, yeah, it's giving a suite of services. Like you could do it separately, but then you can make sure they link, right? Because the people that are looking for project management are not necessarily looking for graphic design. Like they've already gotten whatever project they want to do. They're just looking for someone to manage it. But the people that are looking for writing and for creative work, they may not know they need a project manager. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So that's what I would do. Anybody else have ideas? Somebody said it's giving suite of services. Okay, last question. It's 12 o'clock, but last question. What am I looking forward to in 2025? Girl, so many things. I'm gonna do a live session on Libria Jones website to talk about planning for 2025. Um, I'm looking forward to a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can go with creative endeavors. I've spent so much of my career using the analytical side of my brain. And the person that just asked that question, I get the feeling we're alike. Like we use both sides of our brain, which is not better or worse than using one side. It just means that you have a bit of more of a balance between being analytical and being creative. And I've spent so much of my life and my career um, feeding that analytical side and working in an analytical field. And I feel like the creative side of me is like she really wants to come out. And so in 2025, I'm looking forward to really leaning into being a creative in a lot of different ways, whatever that looks like, whatever that means. I think that is the biggest thing I'm looking forward to in 2025, to be honest with you. And thank you for asking me that. I appreciate the question. All right, guys, have a great evening. Have a great evening, afternoon. Have a great afternoon. Bye, everybody.